Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. A little bit about everything. This is Monday the 21st of August 2023. And I most of the time I'm making garbage bins or cedar chairs or machining something or hay production. Like if you look at the rest of my videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. I do some 3D printing as well, a little bit of welding. But I came across a chair that really caught my attention, and its simplicity was what really drew me to it. And in this video, I'm going to try to make this chair, and I'm probably going to be making templates as I go along to reproduce this chair if I like it, right? If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe. That would help me out a whole lot. And this is what I'm talking about, okay? The chair will consist of two main parts, but they're identical, okay? It's like folding out a sine wave. So this piece, if this is the chair from the top view, and here we have the middle. Well, if these were spaced out the same, you couldn't fold this up. It would be a solid chair, right? But if I go like this, okay, then this can fold onto that, and this is going to come here like that, right? And if the seat area is here, if I took out, this would be there would be three set of legs underneath. This would be part of the chair itself, or the lumbar for your feet, right? Or your stool, okay? You would need two legs to support your back, right? So these would go here, okay, as you see here. Now if you want this to be foldable, these are on the inside so they don't interfere with anything else going on around it, right? For this to be foldable in here, it has to have the same curvature as that back piece, and if there is any in the short piece as well, okay? Now it's going to be tricky to find the right ratio. Normally when you get into a chair, you want something that's between 15 and 17 inches off the ground, which is the height of your kneecap. It's a universal number. Normally it's 18. It's universal. That'll fit wider range of bodies, right? So if I'm sitting here, I want, from this top slat, I want to be around 17 to 18 inches off the ground. Now the back here, since there's a curvature, has to be longer. So if I have a 17-inch piece folded up in the chair, this piece either has to come down from here and slide here and then fold out, or fold in here between those two pieces. Now I have no idea right now what those lengths might be, and I might end up making that thing like 10 inches or 12 inches off the ground just so I can get the legs to fold into that chair. found some clear board. And it's 6 inches wide. I'm going to make these out of 2 pieces. It'll be 2 inches or 2 inches wide, but a lamination. So first, what I want to do is, I decided that I was going to go with a 40 length, and I'm just going to make a pattern. That pattern's going to be good for all the pieces, okay? And I'm going to get myself a pencil. It's hard to film it, and for those people watching the videos, when you make a video, you have to plan, you have to get the materials, you have to set things up so the viewer can see what you're doing, and it's 2 to 3 times the work of somebody just messing around in the shop and building something, right? Like I just spent an hour trying to find some boards, and I just noticed something. This one has a defect in it, but it is a lot of work when you start making a video and you try to make it so that the viewer can see it in 9 minutes, but you might be days in planning, right? So I'm going to make this my first piece, and I'm going to use this as a template to make the rest. And I might actually take a piece of cardboard or a piece of plywood and get a template of this if I want to remake these. So I'm going to go over to the saw here, and I'm going to cut this. Get you some eye protection. You never know. It's when you're not paying attention something happens, right? So I made this 40, and I'm going to plane it down. Okay. Here I sort of have the support for the derriere. And from there to there I have roughly about, in my case I go 16 inches. So if this is 8, I got my 16, so where my knee starts to drop, which would be quite comfortable. Okay? It's again 16-ish. So if I had 12, I would get 24. 24, I would be all the way out here in the crease, so that wouldn't work well. So I have to really tighten up on this here. In this case I have 8 here where my finger is. But it could mean the difference between being comfortable and then uncomfortable, right? I want to try this here. So if this works, I'll just replicate it, right? So I have my curvature here. And this is just, I think it's like 3/8 of an inch by maybe 1/4 of flexible material. Make sure I get it the first time because you can't replicate this. So that seems about right. So once I get my chair here, I'll get between, well, yeah, I'll get around 16. So my knee's going to start to drop at the other end of the chair here. So this should work out, so I'm happy with that. Now I have to put a radius on here. I'm going to go 2 inches wide and then try to replicate it again. So I have a compass here. I'm just going to set this to 2 inches. Yeah, 2 inches will do it. Hopefully I have enough room. So this is 2 inches. And if I hit the line and just make a mark, those are my 2 inches, right? I'm 2 inches away. Now I might be doing this for nothing, or I might be on the right track here, but I know this is 2 inches at the arc. That's 2 inches. That's 2 inches. And let's see if I remember this correctly. If I wanted to make, you go 1 inch, I want to make half a circle, so I'm going to go 1 inch, and I'm going to mark it here, and that's going to be where the two curvatures intersect. That's where I'm going to make my half moon, my half circle. Right, so I have that end. Now I have to do this end. I know that I can go up to here roughly. So I have that mark, I have this mark, I have that mark of intersection. So I want to be here. Okay, so I'm going to remove these nails and I'm going to set them up higher on the board. Got my hammer. Set these up in line with my mark. So that's where it is. And what I mean by mark, I mean the center of the circle. Down here, that. then go over here, do the same thing. And I can try to retrace this the same way I did the other one, or I know I have to intersect the top of every piece. So I've just went by that knot, and I think I got the best of the lumber here, and I missed that knot as well, and I got the best out of here. Like, I'm going to have a nice end product. See, I had to spare this knot, right? So this is my gluing setup, and if I need more clamps I'll just go get them. I gotta sand off the edges because there's some blowout from the saw, and I don't want that getting into the gluing surface and causing problems. I'm just sanding off those irregularities. now I've matched them up correctly, so I have the nice pieces on the outside, or the best pieces on the outside. I have a feeling this is going to eat up a lot of glue, and I only have a certain quantity left. I hope I have enough. So, this is one. I feel like I should be sort of spreading this out. Make sure that there's coverage. I get a solid gluing surface. Shouldn't waste. Well, this is going to set by the time I get to it, but I'm hoping it won't. Okay, I'm going to make sure this is even. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to sand off the glue and make this uniform. Okay, this is these are two legs. Once I've cut out the other one out of it, it's going to be two legs. So what I did was take that curvature and scribe it onto here. Now I have to cut this out in the bandsaw, and I'm going to use this one as a pattern and copy it on the other set of legs. Alright, so let's get this cut and set the guide depth. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these 10 right away, and then whatever's left is going to be the backrest. So I'm going to cut these 10, and whatever's left on the other side is going to be the back side. This is tricky because I'm just going to have to hold on to it. So that's going to be the front side. And I'm going to put a piece here. The angle might change if I have enough material left. The angle might change. So I can't put that in there like that. I'm going to have to mark it on this side. Okay. That's that. This is the other leg, portion of the leg. I'll get the angles on that later. Okay, so let's get this forstner bit shut up. Okay, and fully extended that deep. So I have to bring it up like half an inch. Something like that. That may be too much. We'll let it down a bit. Okay. What you get. And now, look closely. I got my washer and my screw in there, right? Or my nut. And it is going to be invisible. It's going to be in the pocket. Oh, I forgot to hold the holes for the legs, the back legs. And that's what I'm doing now. But I have pre-drilled the pipe hole. So basically, it's not all the top of the pipe, right? All I have to do is set it up in the right spot to get it started. So now, I'm going to pull it out here farther out. Okay. It's sort of raised. It raised the material. So basically, if this tile hole was been drilled through, let's say this sheet of plywood, put it on top and line it up and drill it. Now, that would be on plywood, not on the work. I have to carve it out. And it's weeding out my work by that much, like weeding into the lumber, right? On smaller pieces, it matters. On larger pieces, not so much. I'm going to try digging in a little more slowly. But really, I should actually. I'm going to do what I just preached. I'm going to stick here and use it. And I'm going to climb a piece of this. I'm going to use this. I'm going to climb there. Not two pieces. This one's going to be out of the direction of the tile hole, but it's to prevent from marring the work. I'm going to try this. And this clamp won't do it. I got to get in there to climb. Okay, so I'm going to go for this. So there's the hole. I'll get through. Now I'm going to change my half inch bit. Now I'm going to go through this in the same fashion. Forward. Okay. So there's the wood coming out. Like a low blow, I guess you could call it. I don't know, maybe it's about an inch. And this didn't. Same thing. Maybe this wasn't strong enough for that from happening, or I was just using the wrong bit for the job. Probably a forstner bit would have been better. So maybe there. Okay. If I put it bang on, get it. Get it, Mark? I can get it to open up far enough. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get slightly apart from the pivot mark. Hopefully, I'll let it down right this thing. So that's where you get a preview of what it would look like, right? So let's set this up. It's funny. The minutes are taken away on there. I only have so much time for the content. Like, long videos, people don't want to watch it. They don't want to hear you running on. It's hard to know what to do. So you end up making a video that's not as detailed as someone might want it to be if they were trying to replicate what you're doing. It's kind of frustrating for that reason. I'm going to use two inches. There we go. Okay, now I'm bring this down here. How far am I from here? Okay. Okay. Split this around. Almost took the light out. And I've only put one screw into there so I can still try to square it if need be. Now on this end I have no idea where this slack is going to end up. So I'm going to lay out some board to see if I can't find the correct. It doesn't look like it, but it sure takes up a lot of slacks.
Okay. So now, I'm going to flip this around. So I can actually screw these down now. 3/16. I'm going to have something. Let's make 3/16 over here. This is close. Maybe this is closer. We got this 3/16 right here. Use this. So this is my spacer. And I'm going to check for length. Don't know quite that much. Use this.
Okay, so I've finished. This would be the backrest, because the legs is going to have the loop. Okay, so I've got to flip this over. So that I can actually start putting boards on the back here. And same idea. I just looked at, I don't know if you can see me from there. Okay. If you look at this portion of it, I'm almost there. You see the end of the side of the slot here. You can see my finger. Okay. Well, if you just lean back just a bit, right now I'm right over it. So I think I'm up on it like an 8. So I'm going to be up on it like an 8 here. So I'm going to lift with a 1/4 inch gap when all said and done, when these are folded up together. So what I'm going to do is, oh, I gotta go. I think there's some company here. Okay, look. So I'm going to do the same thing for back here. And I'm really hoping that these won't get any, right? So they'll fit. And what I mean by fit is, if this is too thick, this thing will never close. And when it opens up, like this, that's the back leg, that's when you cut it at a different angle. I just don't know what it is yet. I was hesitant on this build, but this has been going on for a while. You won't watch on video. So I started this build, well, it's been a couple months now. And I've sort of been, not procrastinating, but, well, I guess you could call it procrastinating. So I've got to leave a little bit of space here, just for ease of operation, right? So maybe I could find something to clamp it together so that the spacing is uniform. Right, from here to here, all the way through. Like if I leave a 16 inch gap on the bottom, I want to make sure I got 16 all the way through before I actually put some screws in, right? So I gotta find something that's 16 inch. I'll be right back, I'm just gonna make something. Okay, so what I did was I had some flashing lying around, some aluminium flashing, so that's what I used for a spacer, and I put it in between. I'm gonna try to follow that gap. And now I gotta remember to screw in the middle and not on the other one. So I've got to just get on it. Like that. That's about right. And I'm flush on the other side, so I can actually screw this in now. And on the other one. Alright, now I'll put there. And I sort of have to remember, this is, the hump is where most of the weight's going to be. Where the feet are at the bottom, there's not much downforce on boards, because the weight of the body is going to be there, right? So there. That's right on. I'm going to give all of you a few seconds to take a look at this. And I want you to tell me down in the comments below if you can spot the error. I just figured it out and how to fix it, but can you spot the error? That's screwed there. So this one underneath is screwed on this one, and this one is screwed there. Can you spot the error? This is the leg. It has to come out to hold the backrest. It's the long one. Okay. If I pull it out, it's the long one. It's for the back. So can you spot the error, and how would I fix it? Okay, pause the video and think about it. Alright, this is the answer to this. These boards have to be undone, and the boards here have to be undone again, and I have to switch these boards on this side of the inside. Like, these boards are going to be screwed on the same beam but on the inside, and the other ones over here are going to be screwed on the outside of this one. Now what's going to happen is that's going to leave holes everywhere, but that's part of the learning process, right? Wish I had seen that before. Darn it. So this was the answer to the dilemma I was facing. As you can tell, the boards were screwed on this surface here, on the other one. So when I open that up, that's not where the problem was. Sorry, that's not where the problem was. The problem was with the legs. For these to open up in the correct fashion, which is from here and drop like that to hold the backrest, the only way that can happen is if the board is screwed on the inside for the backrest. That's the only way that can happen. And I'm glad I caught it on time, but this chair is just going to be a demo. The next chairs I'm going to make you won't see that. Well, for those who are going to try to replicate this, which I know there is going to be a few people of you that's going to try it, this is where I sort of haven't figured things out yet. For this to fold over to be just one laminate, you open up and the legs flop out, right? I don't know how strong this is, really. I would be more... These slats, actually there's a lot of strength in the slats. It's just this joint, left to right, right? If somebody just lets their weight onto it, right? It would be stronger if there was a rod going through here. But that's adding more weight to it, right? But at this point here, I am going to put, if I can find a piece to show you. I'm going to put something bigger than this. on the inside from here to here. And the wider it is, like if it was 5 inches, or even 6 for that matter, it's going to make this a whole lot more stable for this kind of movement. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the same thing with the small legs. Right? I'm still going to put a piece on here to help give it, that's where the rump is going to be, right? That's where that's where your butt's going to be, and it's got to be more stable, right? Because it's got to carry the weight of the footstool and the whole chair. Most of the weight's going to be on these short pieces. But the one thing I haven't figured out yet is how do I get this to stop here at a certain point? Do I make a rope going from the legs to these pieces so that they stop at a certain spot? If I put a piece here, higher up than the pivot, as soon as I reach a certain spot, it's going to stop, it's going to rest against it, right? But when I close it, I can't close my chair anymore. I can't fold it. So I'm sort of in a dilemma how that would work, unless I had another piece up here, like this, that would unfold like that, and that would stop at a certain spot. You know what I'm getting at? I'm not quite sure how to devise this yet. So I'm going to get me a piece for this, and I'm going to fix it to here and the other one on the bottom.
I'm going to put this on there and actually retrieve the boards. So, this is where the marks were. Okay. I'm trying to be through this a little bit. Okay. So now, we are poking through. I'm just going to put that into my piece here. And that's one side. Right here. Okay, now for the other side. There. And just going to circle it. There. I can't see. I'm going to set one screw in there. No, I probably need to do that. Let's take it through this. Like I like to do everything simple because now I know it's going to fit, but if I get this on anywhere else, this would be perfect like this. So now, this holster, one more like supposed to, but I have to remove that screw again, so I can drill the hole so it doesn't split. Okay. That's flush.
I don't know why I'm losing my near sight. I can see well from far, but I can't see good from near. Did I cover something? Yeah, I did. And pull out some more down here. So this is the best I can do for now. Even if I put this leg longer, it has to go farther up here. So I end up getting the same height. And the only way to lift the back up is by making the front one shorter. Well, then your chair doesn't look nice anymore because it doesn't seem continuous. So I'm just using a spacer here and marking off the angles. That I want to miter these off at, but I'm still going to try to maximize. Like I got 1/8 of an inch here I can gain, and here the same thing. So it's going to sit a little higher up. Man, this is starting to look nice. I like this. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe, and you get to see more. And you're going to get notifications if you hit the bell too. Alright, so I've come up with a solution. It doesn't look like a continuous line. Okay, I don't know if I'm in the frame. I don't know if it looks like it doesn't look like a continuous line, but it's very close. And it's hard to get the ratio right between these two legs, okay? Because if I lengthen that one, I have to set it farther back, which still brings down the back. If I cut this one, this really doesn't look like the correct angle, continuous line. So there's no way of getting a continuous finish here without shortening the back, which means shortening the leg side. So what I did was I removed the 3/16 slot here on either side, which permitted me to open up a little farther so that the leg would sit on the table. So I know this table is level. It's a level, or it's the same plane on this thing. There's no deviation. Not enough deviation for a carpenter anyways. So here, I didn't know how I was going to keep these legs here other than putting a block here so it couldn't go any further. But there is another way. A rope. I tied this piece to this piece. So that way it can't split apart on me. And they both are angled outwards. They're not perpendicular to the table. This one has like a 10-degree angle, or maybe even more. And in the front, I have the same thing. So if you have two things pushing against each other, and the nose of it touching the ground, I don't think this is going anywhere. So I solved that problem. So right now I'm in the middle of taking this rope and tying it to that piece right there. So I'm just going to measure this, try to hit the half mark. Okay, this is 20, so I'm going 10, and this is 5.5, so I'm going 2 3/4. So I have to hit it there. Double check. 10, 10, 2 3/4, 2 3/4. I'm having that kind of a day, so that's why I'm double checking. Would you believe me, my battery's dying out on me? Like I said, I'm having that kind of a day. Okay. Okay. Put the rope a little longer. I have enough to make a knot. Let's see if I can't slide that through there without taping it up. Yep. Okay. So I sort of have to close this up a bit. I have to close it up a bit because it's going to stretch. So how do I get it that much? Okay, now there is some stretch to the rope. I didn't think there would be, but there is. So this would be short, right? And this is my legs and this is my backrest. So legs come out. You can't go any farther because of the rope.